Hi everyone, Einat Kessler here with a new video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to make our journal page backgrounds and complete pages with foam stamps. So I have here an old background that I did a while back, and I want to add some foam stamps to it. So I'm starting with some white acrylic paint and a brayer. This is a really good way to apply your paint on large foam stamps. You have more control of how you apply the paint this way. So I'm going to cover the entire surface of the stamp with my white acrylic paint. And then you can see that I can stamp more than once with the amount of paint that I have on the stamps. This is something that foam stamps are really comfortable and good for, because you can stamp more than once. Adding a little bit of green, and I have here half circle stamps that I can use as half circle, or I can attach them to the other half circle and create a complete circle with two different sides. So that is really cool. Let's add some orange as well. This is a smaller stamp. And foam stamps are really great for mixed media and art journaling, because you can use lots of mediums with them. They're not just for ink, they're great for acrylic paints or even watercolors. You can stamp them on fabrics or in glass, on wood, with all kinds of paints that you have in your stash. So unlike regular acrylic stamps, these stamps are much more versatile, and you can use them on almost any surface with lots and lots of paints. You can even use them with markers, with crayons. So now I'm starting a new page from scratch. I'm spraying it with a little bit of yellow and orange, drying it of course, and now I want to teach you how to work with the stamp buddy. The stamp buddy comes with your foam stamps, and it's a piece of sponge that is sort of a guide. So what I did, I added a little bit of ink to my stamps and stamped the surface of the stamp body, and now I'm applying two different colors according to the guidelines that ink is giving me. So now I know where one stamp starts and the other one ends, and I can apply paint with just a plastic card to wherever I want. Now I can go ahead and bring those two stamps, and this is becomes my stamp buddy, becomes like a large ink pad for acrylic paints. So I'm loading my stamp like this, and then I can go ahead and stamp, and that paint on the stamp buddy is enough for more than one stamp. You see, they can keep on going back to my stamp buddy and use it as an ink pad for more and more stamping on my page. There is still paint in there. Now I'm changing the colors. Alternating with my two circle halves. Isn't that cool? There is still paint in there. I can still go and grab paint with another stamp. This is a cogwheel. You see how much paint there is. So it's really like a large ink pad, sorry. And then you can rinse it with water to get rid of all the excess paint and add more paint. So I'm going to use the leftover paint on my ink body to start another page, creating another background with another foam stamp. And I can fill, look how much paint is there. I can still go on and on to make more backgrounds. Really, really cool. I can change the direction. Isn't that pretty? Really like how that turned out. Can use the large stamp as well and ink it excuse me, on only one part, and then turn it and use it on its other side. Depending on how big your stamp is, you can play with it. This color combination is really cool. And there is still paint on my ink body, so I can still go on and use that paint to make even another art journal page start with another new background. Of course, you can put less paint to begin with, but all these pages, look how many pages I can make. So I want to add a little bit of black and apply it to another stamp and add to my art journal. Create a little bit of contrast on the page. And you see how easy it is to use. And you can't use acrylic paints with just regular acrylic stamps. It won't work. And of course you need to make sure that everything is dry before you go on and work on another page. Otherwise everything will smear and you don't want that. Acrylic paints takes a few seconds to dry. You don't want to ruin your work. That fits inside just perfectly. You see, I didn't dry it and now I have a little bit of a black stain there, but that's fine. But that just goes to show you that you need to dry your pages. I want to add a little bit of this red color. So I have here a word stamp. This is really fun stamp. And by the way, I'll put a link under the video to where you can get all of these stamps. These are all my foam stamps, my design. So you can get them at the link that I will leave if you want to play with foam stamps in your mixed media or art journaling or scrapbooking or card projects. And again, you don't have to use acrylic paints. You can use inks, you can use markers, you can use crayons, you can use special paints for glass, for fabric. You can even apply glue to the side of the stamp and use that as well. All the sides will work with the foam stamp. Okay, so I think this page is more or less done. Just want to make sure it's dry. Let's finish this page as well. Of course, you can add text to your pages or some other elements, little details with a black or white pen. Whatever you want your page to say at this point. So now I have all the elements, and let's finish the last page with this large stamp. Really like this one with all the detail that it has. Just want to make sure it's completely covered, and this one fits around perfectly. And you can combine them all to one large stamp. These are called foambinations because they create combinations with foam stamps. So that is really, really fun. Let's dry that as well. Want to add a little bit of paint around the page. Going to finish all the pages now. You can finish them any way that you like, of course. Add a little bit of yellow spraying. And I think this page is more or less done. Let's just add a little bit of black. Another stamping for extra contrast on top of that red. Really like how this page turned out. Very colorful and bold. Of course, you can use other colors. I'm just spraying slightly and using a baby wipe. So some of the acrylic creates a resist technique with the sprays. So that looks really, really cool. So just use a baby wipe to remove some of the sprays and you will reveal the acrylic patterns underneath. This is a really cool effect. Let's add a little bit of yellow. And then you can see the resist effect even better. Really like how these pages turned out. I hope you like these foam stamps. Go ahead and check that link and get a few to work with. They're really fun. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video. So you'll be able to follow all the tutorials and make all the projects and you won't miss anything. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.